Welcome back. Maybe someone can help me explain this joke. An anthropologist walks into a bar and he asks, "Why is this joke funny?" Well, maybe our next presenter, Carlo Cubero, can help us with the answer. Over to you, Carlo.
Thank you, Michael. We can go to that bar and discuss that joke later, for sure. Hello, I'm Carlo Cubero. I'm the coordinator of the MA program in social anthropology at Tallinn University. And I will elaborate on some of the themes that we already covered in the video. So our MA program is a 2-year course. We divided course in 4 semesters. The cost is 913 euros. However, there is there's opportunity for a student fee reduction that is based on competitive results. We offer 2 tracks within our MA program. In one track, students develop their a text-based MA dissertation, and we also have a track in audiovisual ethnography. This is a course that is done in collaboration with the Baltic Film and Media School. And in this course, students develop a storytelling competency using other mediums than text. So what is anthropology? In this increasingly interdisciplinary academic environment, it's very difficult to draw a clear definition of different disciplines. However, the kind of anthropology that we develop in our program is one that is focused on the methodology of participant observation. So what this means is that the kind of knowledge that is produced and analyzed in your dissertation is based on direct experience and direct contact with the context that we are studying. A second characteristic of the kind of anthropology that we develop at Tallinn University is the concept of cultural relativism. Quick definition of cultural relativism would go along the lines that it is the acknowledgement that there's a plurality, multiple worldviews, and that each world should be understood in its own terms, rather than presume some kind of universal ideal that can then be applied universally. So it's a very cosmopolitan and international environment. Our staff has developed, we have conducted our own participant observation exercises in Europe, the Caribbean, which is my field of expertise, Central Asia, India, and North America. Another characteristic of our program, obviously, is the unique opportunity to specialize in audiovisual ethnography. Our program is open to students from all disciplines. No previous knowledge of anthropology is required. However, you should understand that this is anthropology in Tallinn University is contextualized within the humanities, right? This is very different from normally in European universities, anthropology is contextualized as a social science. So we have that slight different approach there. The bulk of the course experiences in our program are seminar-centered rather than lectures. So what this means is that it's a very small and intimate setting. Students develop their projects in collaboration with themselves and in close collaboration with a supervisor. These kinds of small, intimate spaces, they encourage a very active student community. Our undergraduate students organize many events throughout the year. They've organized a non-for-profit organization that is designed to promote anthropology in Estonia. And they do many activities through that NGO. And of course, we do many social and academic events with our colleagues in the Baltics and in Finland. At all this, something that is we'd like to say and we like to encourage that it is a research-centered environment rather than a teaching-centered environment. Those of you considering to come to do your graduate course with us should understand that this is not a taught course, but it's a research-focused course. So all of the activities that we do are designed to assist you and help you complete your dissertation within the nominal time. And of course, this dissertation is part of it goes on the archive and it's our the item that we pay most attention to in the course of doing this MA. So what are the different career paths that you can consider in anthropology? The trends in the market show a growing need for analysts to have sharp thinking skills. In an increasing globalized world, you have many global corporations, for example, Google, Apple, the big Amazon. All these multinationals require, not just require, they're known for hiring many anthropologists and having anthropologists on staff. Basically, any kind of company or service that deals with people and that deals with people in different cultural, social contexts, anthropology is a very sought after skill. And we speculate that people with an anthropology degree are going to be in increasing demand in the coming years. These are a few websites. You might not be able to follow them, but in these 3 websites, you find information on the top careers that people with anthropology degrees pursue. The list is very long, so I'm not going to elaborate it here, but basically any career path that has to do with people or interactions with people, anthropology is very useful. Many of our graduates from the MA program work in the private sector at the moment, or they run their own businesses. They work in the fields of, for example, stuff like tourism, education. Another batch of students have continued working in academic fields, pursuing a PhD, or pursuing other MA projects. And then the last link is a link where you can get a sense of what should your expected entry salary be when you finish your degree in anthropology. As I said at the beginning, it's a 2-year course. We think of these 2 years divided into 4 semesters. During the first semester, you MA researchers are assigned a supervisor, and the supervisor will assign guidance throughout the entire thesis writing process. In the second semester, the core activity is that researchers are supposed to write a research proposal. This research proposal is kind of like a broad description of what your fieldwork process is going to be and what's the general theoretical contextualization of your dissertation. During the summer weeks, it is expected that the MA researchers conduct their participant observation exercises. There have been some cases where people don't do their fieldwork over the summer. For example, we had one project one year that followed a political campaign in Estonia. That is, the anthropologist embedded himself in a political, of a person running for parliament, and the campaigns in Estonia are not during the summer; they're in the autumn. So in this case, and we have other cases that are dissertations that are time specific. For example, dissertations that study winter. Yeah, and in this case, they are exceptions, but normally the MA researchers are expected to do a minimum of 6 weeks of fieldwork. In general, they do 8 weeks, 2 months. And this standard of 2 months of doing participant observation is a standard across Europe. After doing your participant observation exercise during the summer, then you're giving 2 semesters to write your dissertation. This process of writing the dissertation is complemented by a series of courses, but most of them are seminar-driven or reading groups. And of course, essential is your collaboration with your supervisor and with your peers. These are the courses that we offer. It gives you a sense of the kind of themes that we cover in our course: cosmopolitan anthropology, debates in anthropological theory, political economy of culture, the anthropology of experience, environmental anthropology, and one of the most ambitious courses that we run is methods of ethnographic fieldwork. We also, I didn't include courses that are part of the audiovisual ethnography program, but these courses are mostly associated with filmmaking in a nonfiction context. Basically, in the audiovisual ethnography program, students develop technical and conceptual skills in ethnographic cinema or anthropological cinema. This is the core staff of the anthropology program. The first person, the handsome person there is me, Carlo. Yeah. I put underneath the specialization that we work. So I'm in the field. I work what's called visual anthropology. I make films, and I work with other materials than text when producing my research. And my regional site of expertise is the Caribbean. Eva Keskula is an economic anthropologist. She focuses on labor practices. Her current research, she's doing a comparative study of miners. That's why you see her with the holding a mining helmet. Miners in Estonia and in Kazakhstan. She's currently writing a book about her participant observation experiences. Jonas Plang is a lecturer in our program. He focuses on environmental anthropology. Jonas Plang did participant observation in Canada in a fishing community. And he's currently writing his dissertation on how is it that commercial fishermen experience climate change. Maria Hermann is a lecturer in anthropology. She's also the coordinator of the BA program. Maria's participant observation was in India. She did in West Bengal. She did fieldwork in the international Hare Krishna community. And in the field, she's contextualized as an anthropologist of consciousness. This is a list of some of people that have done our program or are currently doing it. It gives you a sense of the different topics that we cover. Olga Usova, she did her participant observation exercise in Helsinki in a company that certifies your product with an eco label. So next time you go to the supermarket, you look at the milk carton or toilet paper, and you see this as an eco label on it. Olga worked with the company that did that certification. And she contextualized her work as eco-capitalism in Finland. And her dissertation is available on the ETRA if anybody wants to give it a look. Timothy Anderson is a PhD candidate in our program. Timothy lived for a year in the refugee center in Estonia. He lived there for a year, and he's currently writing his dissertation on the experiences of asylum seekers in Estonia. Jo Burgess, she's currently writing her dissertation, her MA dissertation. Jo Burgess she went back to her family farm in England. She had other ideas for her project, but the corona situation limited her possibilities of doing fieldwork. Initially, she wanted to go to California to do fieldwork in an eco community. This wasn't possible because of the corona restrictions. So she went to her old farm in southern England, where she isolated herself, and she spent all summer by herself in nature with her dog, camping. And she's writing an autoethnography about her experiences in the field. And she's contextualizing her work in the field of queer anthropology. Rayat Nayar, he did our audiovisual ethnography program. He's currently conducting a PhD in Canada. Rayat did his fieldwork in the city of Varanasi. The city of Varanasi is one of the holy cities of Hinduism. It's located on the banks of the Ganges in India. In the Hindu context, to die in Varanasi and be cremated and have your ashes thrown in the river is one of the key components of the process of dying, or dying the good death and achieving nirvana. So Rayat made a film about a man that took his sick mother to the city of Varanasi, and they spent in a hospice for a week. When she died, they cremated her and they threw the ashes in the Ganges. It's a very powerful film that has made a very successful route in the film festival circuit. This is a quick list of some of the activities that we do. This image, the Riga Pasaules Film Festival. This is a documentary film festival that I curate in Riga, in the city center. You can look up Riga Pasaules Film Festival on Facebook. Our call for films is actually running at the moment. Our festival is one of the few festivals that has not gone online after Corona. We're still doing it. So if you're ever in the Baltics, come down to Riga to attend the festival. This icon here represents a project that we're running at the moment with the Estonian Beekeepers Association. We're currently writing a book that collects stories of beekeepers in Estonia. This is a project that we're using. Many of our students are actively participating in it, and this project, we hope to have it completed in 2 years' time. Sintran. This is a project that our colleague Eva Keskula collaborates with. This is a comparative project that looks at the different challenges that countries are facing as they move away from fossil fuels. Estonian Fund for Nature is an organization in Estonia that promotes conservation issues in Estonia. And our colleague Jonas Plan, he works with them, and he has the brief of the sea. So he develops many educational and makes many short films about the coasts and the sea. And the final icon there on the bottom right is the logo of the anthropology, student-run anthropology NGO. The admissions requirements is a quite simple, technically simple process. We are interested, given that the core component of our course is the writing of the dissertation, the admissions requirements is we would like it if you could start thinking of your dissertation already when you apply to the program. So a very important document is your statement of research interest. And here you describe what are the general trends that you're interested in anthropology. We then ask you to write an essay that is based on assigned literature. You write it live. Here we're looking for writing skills and critical analysis skills. And finally, the third step is an interview that you do with us and the rest of the staff. So our logo, our motto is explore the human experience, and you can follow us on Facebook. This is the image of our Facebook page, so you would recognize it, right? So thank you very much, and hope to see you in Tallinn very soon.